Hey there, welcome to day 40 of playing chess every day until I reach 1500 Elo. Currently we're at 11:45. I just got back from vacation and I'm a little tired. It's kind of late, but let's go ahead and just jump right into a 15-minute game here. We're up against a 1075. Go with our London system. So if we win this game, we should hit 1150, which will be pretty cool. Okay, we get knight c6. Just gonna play this. This is pretty much always the third move. Alright, we get both knights out here, and he hasn't played c5. The knight's blocking c5. So I'm not completely sure if c3 or c4 is the best here. I think c4 is good, but I'm not entirely sure. It's kind of tricky to decide when to do c4 versus the standard c3 move. Maybe I'll go ahead and do my knight first. And if he develops this bishop here, I think I definitely want to do c4. Let's just do this knight as the first move there. But yeah, I'm pretty sure when this bishop comes out, that's when you want to do c4. The only thing I have to watch out for is this threat. Actually, so maybe I should go ahead and get this bishop here. Okay, he does do that. So yeah, actually, I need to think about it, because normally I think c4 is good when the bishop's here. But I don't really want to allow this threat, so maybe I do need to just go c3. Because the bishop is supporting the knight threat to fork here. So then to defend that, I need to go like knight a3, because it's already defended once, but I need to defend it twice. Or I could go here. And then take... No, I can't go there, because the knight will be looking at that. So let's just go c3. I need to figure out more about the theory on exactly when to do c4 versus c3. But I think in this case, with the knight here threatening to come in for the fork, I think c3 to prevent that is probably better. But I don't know for sure. So maybe if the bishop is out, but the knight hasn't come here to c6, maybe that's when you go c4. Okay, well he wants to pin the knight, but there's not really a very concerning move. I can develop my bishop here. I can do this knight first also. Let's do the bishop first. And I'll probably kick this away. Let's go ahead and kick him away. He can trade if he wants to. Yep. Okay. I want this. We could trap the knight if he were to go to h5. If I go here, he takes. He's going to need to go back somewhere instead of going to h5. I feel like he could definitely fall for that trap. But if he doesn't fall for it, I don't know if I want to give up my bishop for his knight and then double my pawns also. It's kind of like hope chess, to hope he'll go to the wrong square and get trapped. I think he might do it, but if I don't think the position is good, if he doesn't go for it, then I'm not sure if I should. So let me see. Is the position okay there? Get a double pawn. I can't play f4 to support it because he has this pawn already here. Goes there. Yeah, I think if he goes there or something, he should just be fine. These are very passive. So yeah, he probably would go here to d7. There. Could threaten the knight there on d7. He can't come here. Need to go over here. Or he could just allow the trade there. Alright, let's just go back. Because I don't think I like that too much. If he doesn't fall for the knight trap. Which, it's probably like a 50-50 or something if he would fall for that. Wait, is it even trapped? Let me make sure. So, here, there. Oh, and actually, no, it wouldn't even be trapped anyway. Because he still has this square. So unless he developed the bishop there to block it, then he would have still had an escape square. But yeah, I've noticed that is a pretty common knight trap in the London. When you get either a knight or a bishop here, they take with this knight, you take back, the knight has to move, and if they go to h5 and the escape squares are blocked, then typically you can trap them. I'll probably plan to just develop this knight and then play e4, e5. Okay, well now he moved that knight. So we do have the option of coming in here. This knight's pinned to the rook. And that is a pretty strong square for the bishop. He might just develop his bishop here. We'd be threatening to double his pawns here. Let's not do that yet though, let's go here. But first let's check what he's going for with this knight move. So I think he wants to come in, make a little outpost here. But if I develop the knight, I'm threatening to win his knight. Can't go here. So yeah, let's just develop the knight. We have two defenders of this square. And then I do need to decide if I want to go ahead and castle kingside. I probably will do that. I almost have this, but not quite. Could win the queen if we just had something defending that square. I could go here and threaten it, but he could just take that. That doesn't work. I think I'll just go, I think you'll see it if I just go here. I could go here first. Or I could just castle first. I think I like going here first and see what he does. Okay. So I could take here, double the pawns. Is his knight? No, it's not. Well, it's kind of trapped. Because I can win the pawn. He can't go here. Yeah, he just cut off his knight's like retreating squares. So I can win a pawn here. Threaten the knight, he jumps in here. We take. Let's probably go for that. So yeah, he goes there. Let's take with the knight. Or do I want to take with the bishop, take, and then the knight? Yeah, I think knight. Okay. Pawn. Also, if this knight moves, we have a nice attack with the queen and the bishop on the f6 pawn, or f7 pawn. I don't think there's any tactics over here. I think I'll just drop back to this square. Or this square, actually. Maintain the threat here. Let's do that. And then let's probably castle to get the king saved. Defends the knight. Here. Yeah, there's no way to open up the attack on the f7 pawn. Because whatever he takes with is going to be blocking. And he has two defenders here. But it's still pinned. The knight is still pinned because the bishop, if the knight moves, I can just take the bishop. So let's just keep this bishop here, and let's go ahead and castle. Get our king nice and safe. And then probably look for some pawn breaks. Now he does have another defender on the f7 pawn. So that attack is not as useful. Because he's always going to have the rook and the king there. At least for the foreseeable future. We could play this and try to open up the king. Let's see. Here, here, here. I'm threatening this pawn. I don't know if I want to take that yet, though. Let's just get... I kind of want to get the queen out of the way and then push this and open up the rook to come over here or something. That could be interesting. Could also go here. This pawn will be pinned. Okay, I'm not sure. I can't decide exactly what I want to do yet. Here. I could drop the bishop back and try to go for this. Make the knight move. I think I kind of like going for that. Well, but the knight's still pinned to the... No, it's not pinned to the bishop anymore. Yeah, let's drop it back, get the rook here, and then try to push this pawn. I feel like that's a solid idea. This potentially a threat if the queen moves. Yeah, his pawns are pretty far out from his king here. I need to watch this knight and make sure it can't get to any good squares. It can't really right now. Oh, interesting. I think if I go back here, then I'm double attacking the knight. Which I kind of like. Since he just removed the pawn as one of his defenders there. Even though I really wanted to play this. Should I still do that? Here. Knight can go here. Let's just put the bishop back and just see how he responds to that. We're double attacking it. And then I do really want to get my rooks involved. And his bishop is a pretty key defender of his king, because it's kind of taking the place of one of these pawns that is giving his king a nice little corner to hide in. So if he does move the knight, I probably would just trade that off and be happy with that. But instead he does defend it, but that does hang this. So I'll probably just take that pawn and be up 2 pawns. As long as there's no tactic there. Some kind of knight tactic. I mean, the bishop is covered by the pawn, so I think I'm okay. Let's just take this. And this pawn needs to be protected. And he can't protect it with the rook here, because I'm covering the square with the bishop. So he's actually probably needs to push this pawn, but then is there a way to get another attacker on that? I don't know. Okay. So if I take here, he'll take this pawn. Which I think I can... I probably need to do that because I don't know if I can protect this pawn actually. Unless I went like here, here, here. If I went here, 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 then you would take the pawn anyway. So yeah, I think I'll just take, he takes. Then I probably try to get a trade. The only thing is these pawns will be really weak. But I am up material. Yeah, because there's nowhere I can go to defend this pawn. Let's just go for that. Now, is there something like this? Threaten the rook. Maybe be able to get my pawn really far across. Or just take this to open this up a bit. Either that or I just go for this trade. I don't quite have this. Take that. Let's just try to get this trade. See what happens. He's threatening this if my queen moves. And well, he can't infiltrate here. But I don't want his rook infiltrating anywhere and creating any other threats. So I think trying to trade and get the open file and then bring this up, threaten the skewer here, that could be solid. Also, these pawns aren't really that weak because I can connect this and this one's already connected to a pawn. His pawn over here is weaker, it's completely isolated. Alright, we get the trade. Probably we'll just trade the bishop here. Even though I would like to be able to get the skewer, but the knight's protecting it now anyway. Let me make sure there's no forks here, so he can threaten the bishop. I don't really want him coming in there. Let's just take the bishop first, as long as there's no immediate major threats here. I don't think that there are. But yeah, knights are the main thing that I tend to miss, like, obvious moves on. So, yeah, I don't think there's anything here. The one square that's a little concerning is this, but I think we can... It's not an immediate threat. It's just threatening to trade the bishop. Take there. Oh, actually, I didn't even realize this till he played it, but... No, it doesn't win the knight because he can hop back. But I think I'll play that anyway, force his knight back. Because if he blocks with the queen or moves, then I can just take the knight. Let's do that. Then the knight's pinned. There could be something there. Yep, he blocks like that. Now maybe something here. If we can open this up and start checking over here, especially if we can get a rook involved, that could be really good. Could put this rook here. Queen can't go here, here. You can almost like trap the queen, but not quite. But I can fork the queen in this pawn though. Let's go for that. Wait, my pawn is hanging. If I go here, he can just take that. So let's support that pawn first, or push it. Let's just support it. Now his knight is tied down for the time being. I want to get the rook over here and like be able to use the rook and the queen to attack the king, especially with these weak pawns, but I don't know the best way to go about that. Because these pawns are kind of blocking the rook from getting in. I guess I could try to go here, slide the rook over like this, but this pawn's kind of blocking. Maybe I push these first. Okay, he breaks the pin right away. I have this check. And he needs to just go right back. Or go here, but that seems like a terrible idea. I don't feel like the bishop is doing too much on this diagonal, so the only thing is if I go here, it blocks the rook. So let's bring the rook up first. Here. Defended by the queen. And then maybe go for this check. He moves the knight to block. I don't know if that is good. Let's consider what moves we have here. So I could try to double attack the knight, and it stays pinned. So this seems like it could be good. I could also go immediately for one of these two checks. I go here, probably goes back there. I can bring the bishop and the queen and immediately threaten mate. I can go here to prevent it. I'm not sure if I can quite get anything great out of that. Maybe I go here first. But I think this seems good. He probably needs to go here. And then once he goes there, I can go here. And as long as he doesn't have any crazy checks or anything, that could be pretty strong. Does starting with this check give me anything? There, he moves a double up here. Kind of like this. Because then I'm also threatening double attacking the pawn here, and I'm supporting the rook. So there's nothing. If he goes there, then I can just... No, can I take it? If I'm here, here, he goes here. Take. Okay, let's just try this way without the check first. I'm using a lot of my time playing pretty slow as usual, but we have a pretty nice position, I think. So yeah, let's just double attack this guy. And we can triple attack. And I don't think he has a way to triple defend it. And then I have either of these checks whenever I want to. If they came in handy at all. Is there anything he has? Knight can't really get away. I mean, yeah, the knight's pinned. There's no checks. He can't even threaten the queen with the knight. He doesn't have any checks or anything over here on my king. He could try to push this pawn. I would just go here, I think. Or I could even take the pawn, because the knight is still pinned to the rook. And then I could come back into this position. Or pinned to the queen, I meant. Okay, so he goes for that. I'm thinking I either take the pawn here. If he goes there, I think we're fine. So this take. I think I'd rather maintain the threat right away. Here, that. Take. So that would be fine too. I'd still get the knight. Let's just go here. Okay. And let's take like this and get the trade. I want to just get the queen trade right away. Or do I want this? If I go there, yeah, let's just try to get like the queen trade probably. Okay. Now we just have a lot of pawns. And this one is already unstoppable, I think. Is it? Here, here, here. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's okay. This is not unstoppable. If I go here and he has to go down, I could sacrifice and probably make it unstoppable. Or I could just go here. Yeah, let's just go here and keep that as a constant threat. And then go ahead and walk my king over this way. So if his king ever goes too far from this pawn, I can immediately start pushing it. And he can't attack either of these. I go here, take, here, here, here. Let's do this. Because then we split his pawns up, I think. Okay, he tries to lock that up, but I think if I go here, then we go for that, we should be able to break this apart. I like getting more in-game practice because a lot of the games end before they make it to the end game. So it's nice to get some in-games and practice with just pawns and, you know, some minor pieces and stuff, or rooks. And now I can just infiltrate here and start snagging up the pawns, and he has to keep his king over here. If he goes too far, then we walk right up and promote. Let's just eat all the pawns. Now he's just hoping that I'm going to stalemate him, so let's make sure not to do that. He has that square. We're good to promote. And let's just remove the bishop if he wants to just grab it. No, he doesn't want to grab it. Let's go here. And let's just get the bishop out of the way. And then we'll just promote another pawn just to keep it nice and easy. Or I could walk the king over and... Actually, I could go here. Actually, I don't want to risk. I don't want to mess up and somehow get a stalemate. That would be terrible. Yeah, we'll just promote this one and just do a simple ladder checkmate. But when there's a lot of random stuff on the board, there's a bit more risk of a stalemate. Okay, just do a rook here. And okay, he resigns on the last move. And we just hit 1151. So we broke past halfway to 1200, which is really cool. And let's check the game review. But yeah, I like that game because I got that in-game practice, and I think we played everything pretty well. Game review is not popping up. Let me refresh real quick. Let's see if it'll show up here. All right, here we go. Okay. I'm not going to complain about that. 90.2% accuracy. That's, oops, move my screen by accident. That's one of my best accuracies I've had in a full game like this, where it didn't just end. Sometimes if you just end in like 5 moves and they resign really quickly, you'll have like 95% accuracy. But I think this is one of the highest for sure where I played a full game with 90.2% accuracy. Game rating is 1850. His was pretty good too. He had 1650 game rating, 83.8 accuracy. He didn't have any blunders. He did have a mistake and a number of inaccuracies, it looks like. So let's go through the moves and see what we can learn here. So this was all best. That was only good. It didn't really like that for him. And this was good. It didn't really like this for me. What happened if I played c4? It's excellent. Okay, c4 is better. I was kind of worried about this. Oh, then we have the check to force him back. I see. I missed that. Okay, that's cool. So I can keep that in mind for other games. If this pawn is not covering that, we can threaten this fork and he has to jump back to block it and protect the knight. So I didn't really have to worry about this fork. I thought he was going to threaten that, and I'm going to have to play a bad, ugly move like knight a3 to protect it or something. But I see. Okay, that was inaccurate. This was it was just good. It wanted me to go out and pin the knight there. That was only good. It wanted me to develop my other knight. And that was a mistake. What was the follow-up? Because it looks like I didn't... Oh, it just wanted me to go here instead of all the way back. I wonder if there's any... It doesn't say there's any tactics in particular. Okay, I don't think there's a tactic there. Oh wait, I can eventually win the pawn there? Oh, because then the knight. But that was a lot of moves. I don't know if he would have played all that. Okay, so let's see what we did. We went back. This was inaccurate. This was just a weird move. He didn't really have any other pieces to help coordinate this knight. He wasn't really threatening anything. It did want me to just play this right away. Play b4. Knight goes back. b5. Then knight here again. So we just force his knight onto the edge of the board. So instead, I developed that knight. That was still excellent. This was excellent to bring the bishop back here. Wanted me to take and double the pawns. We were able to win the pawn here though by threatening to trap the knight, and then he has to hop here. I like that tactic. It says this was only good because it preferred that I traded here first, but I thought this was a pretty good tactic. It got rid of this pawn, which gave me complete control over the center of the board, which was really valuable. Dropping back was a mistake. It really wants me to take this knight. I guess doubling the pawn and opening the king up was super useful. I mean, yeah, because then I do have like checks. I just didn't see any like immediate tactics from it. Let's see what it wanted though. Is there an immediate tactic? It wants me to just sacrifice the bishop? That's brilliant. Okay, what's the point of that? Because I'm double attacking this pawn. Wait, no, because if he takes... I don't understand it. He takes... Oh, never mind. The rook isn't protected. Okay, yeah, that was kind of obvious, but yeah, this pawn is pinned to the rook, and I completely missed that. I think in my mind, I thought his rook was already connected or protected somehow, but it was not. So that would have been really nice to spot that. So I could have taken this because the pawn's pinned. That's really cool. And then I'm also threatening to go here with this, winning the queen right after. So that would have been a really nice tactic to find. Going back was only good. Okay, these are all just good moves. Nothing is that winning here. But then he makes the mistake of protecting with the queen instead of just moving the knight. And then we just get a free pawn, a second pawn, and then at this point, I was able to just win with my 2-pawn advantage, putting all this pressure on the knight. And his pieces weren't very active. And then we had a 4-pawn advantage after that. No, a 5-pawn advantage. Or a 5-point advantage. The bishop plus 2 pawns. And then I mean, it was pretty easy to like convert this endgame, but I think we did it the right way. And then he was hoping for some kind of stalemate, but we were not going to give it to him. And there we go. That was the game. And yeah, we broke past 1150, which is really cool. If we get a couple more wins in a row, because we're on kind of a nice streak. I did have a loss 2 days ago, I think. But out of the last, I want to say like 10 games, I think I've won like 7 or so. Maybe I'll take a look real quick, actually. Let's do a quick overview now that we hit 1150. I'm going to go to Rapid. Just look at the Rapid game. So yeah, highest rating is today, 1151. Game history. We had a win. When we had that one loss where I blundered a knight fork at the end, even though I was kind of winning. That was 2 days ago. A win, a draw, and then 4 wins in a row. So that is 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, like 7 out of the last 10 games it looks like we won. So we're on a nice little streak. If we can keep it going and get another couple wins over the next few days, we could actually get close to 1200 pretty quickly. I've been doing some study of like the opening theory for the different openings that I use and all that, and I feel like that is pretty helpful, as well as just trying to keep up on doing puzzles. Because for the first month where I improved really quickly, I was doing a lot of puzzles, and then I kind of stopped doing as many. So I think puzzles really do help quite a bit. So I'm going to keep doing puzzles and keep doing my opening theory, and I'm pretty happy with this current rating. So this has been day 40. I'll see you guys on day 41. Thanks for watching.